This week on the Appalachian Weekly News.
Welcome back from winter break. We have the latest news on the COVID-19 pandemic in the high country, including updates on vaccine distribution.
Some students are choosing to not return to campus, while move-in for on-campus residents is being delayed.
And one student who passed away is being remembered through a scholarship.
All of this and more on this week's episode of the Appalachian Weekly News.
Thank you for joining us on this Friday, January 29th. Reporting from locations all around the state, this is Appalachian Weekly News. I'm Grace Powers. As January comes to a close, COVID-19 cases are rising across the nation. Here in the high country, we've seen a rise in active COVID-19 cases since the beginning of the month. Currently, there are 54 active cases among students, as well as 3 active cases among employees of the university. During the month of January, App State has administered over 3,600 COVID tests. As the university prepares to reopen for in-person classes in February, students are strongly encouraged to wear masks, wash their hands, and maintain social distancing to curb the spread of the virus. Last Friday, Chancellor Sherry Everts announced in an email that App State has submitted an application to the North Carolina Department of Health and Human Services to become a COVID-19 vaccination distribution center. If approved, the university can provide vaccines to community members as well as students and faculty. App Healthcare is managing the vaccine distribution plan across Watauga, Ashe, and Allegheny counties. Currently, those 65 and older, healthcare workers, and long-term care staff and residents are able to receive the vaccine, but it will become more widely available in the future. App Healthcare created a vaccine interest form that notifies you when your priority group is eligible for the vaccine. For more on the vaccine interest form, we talked to a COVID desk associate from App Healthcare.
Okay, so people are going to be able to fill out the vaccine interest form. We are getting to those who fill it out chronologically. So right now we are working with 65 and older. So in that group, we are just getting to those people who filled it out basically first, and then making sure they're all emailed, or if they don't have an email, they're getting called to make sure that everyone who's filled out the list is getting an option to, get the vaccine whenever we have it available for them.
For more on how the vaccine will be distributed throughout the Boone community, Xanayra Marin-Lopez has the story.
Appalachian State University may soon have access to the COVID-19 vaccine. Chancellor Sherry Everts announced in an email sent to students that the university submitted an application to the North Carolina Department of Health and Human Services in hopes of becoming a distribution site. App State would have vaccines for both university and local communities if approved. Those 65 and older, healthcare workers, and long-term care staff and residents are currently able to receive the vaccine through App Healthcare. App Healthcare is distributing vaccines in Watauga, Ashe, and Allegheny counties. I spoke to one person who can tell us a bit more about how the vaccine process will work.
I'm Margaret Bumgarner. I'm Administrative Director for Student Health.
The North Carolina Department of Health and Human Services has classified groups of eligibility to receive the COVID-19 vaccine. Where college students stand isn't very high. There is an order of, who gets it first, but where do college students stand in the order of vaccine distribution?
I suspect, and I'm doing this from memory, that college students are going to be probably in the last 2 tiers, 4 or 5. But right now, the key issue, as you've prepared for this interview, as you know, is just availability of vaccine.
Margaret says that when vaccines do arrive on campus, the order in which everyone will receive them will go a little something like this.
So if we're still in the phase we're in now, or maybe in the education phase, you're always going to put your people at higher risk. So by age or comorbidities, than staff who are not at risk. Students will probably be in that last group. And when the health department and the state health department have both said realistically, maybe late spring.
Check back in here at the Appalachian Weekly News for updated information on how you can get your COVID vaccine when it's available. I'm Saniye Marin-Lopez. Thanks for tuning in.
As the pandemic continues, many of us have experienced change in our everyday life, particularly college students. Abigail Watkins has the story on how COVID-19 is affecting the college experience.
If I wasn't in my dorm common areas freshman year, you could find me at Crossroads, in the Solarium studying, or my favorite, Sanford Mall. But that's not necessarily the case for the class of 2024 with the lack of in-person classes. Due to COVID-19, Appalachian State University has not been able to offer many in-person classes. While this is to keep students and staff safe, many students feel as if they are not getting the full college experience. In many cases, freshmen make friends hanging out in the library, the student union, and Sanford Mall. But now with all the restrictions put into place, these interactions are almost non-existent. The Division of Student Affairs is working to make Appalachian State a welcoming place for all of their students. Engage.appstate.edu helps students find clubs and organizations to help them get involved with the university. Even though this is helpful, some students have yet to step foot on campus. Current freshman Gabriel Patterson says, quote, "I definitely feel like I've missed out on the campus life aspect of the normal freshman experience. I feel like I've missed the experience of sitting in a classroom and building bonds with students and instructors in my courses, since we're just what feels like squares in a Zoom call," unquote. While many freshmen feel this way, they are trying their best to make the most of their first year as a student at Appalachian. The start of a new semester also means a new chance to make memories as a Mountaineer. For more on-campus news regarding COVID-19, you can check out appstate.com and look for the COVID-19 dashboard. For the Appalachian Weekly News, I'm Abigail Watkins.
And now we'll go to Jayson James with news on the university's reopening for spring classes.
The spring semester did not start in a way some people may have liked. In an email sent out earlier this month, Chancellor Sherry Everts announced that classes will be 100% online until February 1st. Move-in day is always an exciting time here at App State. It gives students a chance to catch up with friends and get back into the swing of things and refamiliarize the beauty that Boone offers. Our correspondent Grace Smith has more on how students are reacting to this very special day during COVID-19.
This week, hundreds of App State students will move back into their dorms after their move-in date was pushed back by 2 weeks. On January 8th, Chancellor Sherry Everts sent out an email notifying on-campus students about the delay in their move-in dates. This email also stated that in-person classes were set to begin on February 1st instead of January 19th, like other online classes. This update came with rising COVID cases in North Carolina. At the time this email was released, North Carolina had over 600,000 reported COVID cases. Many students were left feeling scrambled after the date was pushed back. Grace Sims is a freshman archaeology major. She says that the move-in delay made her wonder if on-campus students would be coming back at all.
I was like, are we going to get another email that's going to tell us to stay home for the semester? I was thinking about all my friends that actually had apartments up there and how it had been so long since I've seen them. So yeah, I did not know what was going to happen.
Despite the anxiety, Sims is happy to be back at App this semester. She says she hopes cases will continue to improve.
I definitely think they should keep up with what they were doing all throughout the fall. I thought that those were good steps to prevent COVID, but yeah, I think they should stick to that until we get a vaccine, hopefully.
The change to the move-in schedule also came with new requirements to move back to the dorms. Sims said all students must have a negative COVID test before being allowed back on campus.
Basically, we had to get tested 7 days before our move-in date. PCR or antigen test was fine. We had to upload it to our med portal. And then when we come back, we have an assigned date where we have to get retested to make sure that we're still negative.
App State will continue to offer free COVID testing in the Legends parking lot from 12 to 5 p.m. on Wednesdays and Saturdays this semester. You can also schedule a COVID test with the health services. For the Appalachian Weekly News, I'm Grace Smith.
With the pandemic still in full swing, some close contact spaces like residence halls be expected to be empty this semester. During the fall semester, there were clusters in 14 of the residence halls, all which are now inactive. The school offered an option for students to opt out of their university housing contracts, and they would receive a refund check.
I think it was somewhere around 3,000.
Blake Lutz, another student who chose to opt out of their housing, says that living back at home with her parents isn't as difficult as she thought. She can still manage to do her college classes and have the college life.
I mean, for right now, no, because my mom is a special education teacher, so she's on Zoom all day just like I am. And then my dad, he still goes out and works, so he's not here. So honestly, no.
Despite all the difficulties, both Rains and Lutz says that opting out of housing was worth it.
I think so. It hasn't really been long enough for me to tell accurately.
Oh yes, 100%.
Students are expected to return any day now. Move-in started yesterday and will go on until January 31st. For the Appalachian Weekly News, I'm Shannon Pendleton.
A change in the new year also means a change in some residential hall names. Our correspondent Quadesia Rivers has more on this change.
App State announces the renaming of 2 residential halls, Level and Huey. The buildings were previously named after 2 segregationists, Clyde Huey and Edward Level. The reviews of the name gave significant exposure in the summer of 2020, though in the wake of national-wide protests against racial injustice, including the death of George Floyd and other black men and women. A petition circulated through social media, informing users about the names of the App State buildings and its urgency for removal. App State alumni Josie Evans said that she wasn't aware of the renaming until recently.
I think if it's something that people have wanted for a really long time and it's going to make App State a better community and make people feel more included in it, then I'm all for it. I think it's great. So
Evans believes that students have the power to overturn any policies.
I think it goes to show that when you listen to students, big things can happen. Encouraging your students to have a say in things because they're the ones paying, just listening to student input, and realizing that we're not just students, but we are what makes up the college.
Sophomore Kayla Dilchers agrees that removing the names of the residential halls will bring App State closer.
They're not including all students when they made that decision. They didn't have a diverse mindset. In response to the acts against the Confederate monuments and such, I believe the damage was violent but very necessary in order to demand justice. Destruction could have been prevented initially if equality was normalized in the first place.
From Appalachian Weekly News, this is Quadesia Rivers.
There's been a lot of snow here in the high country as of late, and I don't know about you, Grace, but I sure have enjoyed every bit of it. Mia, what can you tell us about the weather for the weekend? Is the snow planning on hanging around, or will we see a change?
Jason, this has been one weird week for weather. From rain to snow to even an early high of 63 on Tuesday. We've truly seen it all. Today we've had some nice clear skies after yesterday's snow showers, but it's still pretty cold. Heading into tonight, expect some considerable cloudiness with light winds and be sure to pack a sweater for your evening commute. The high for today is 37 and the low is creeping in around 24 degrees. Saturday expects partly cloudy skies in the morning that will become overcast in the afternoon. Be on the lookout for snow showers in the evening on Saturday that will give way to rain and snow at night. The high for Saturday will be 38 and the low just at 31. This weekend, Blowing Rocks is expected to have partly cloudy skies during the morning hours that will become overcast in the afternoon on Sunday, with the highs hitting just around 36 and the lows at 29. On Sunday, there will be light rain early on, with cloud coverage giving way to showers in the afternoon. The high will be 42 and the low at 29. Beach Mountain will have sunny skies with the highs of 32 and the low of 18 degrees. Sunday is expected to be a wintry mix, so now's a great time to hit the slopes during the day with a slight chance of showers into the evening. The high will be 32 and the low around 28. In Seven Devils, the high for Saturday is 35 degrees with the low hitting just at 25. The day should be nice, but be aware of some winter weather developing in the evening. For Sunday, expect a high of 32 and a low of 28 with light snow into the evening. And now for your Friday to Friday forecast. Katie, how are things looking over there at sports?
Thanks for the weather update, Mia. Now let's get into this week's sports update. App State sports experienced some lows but mostly highs starting off this semester. App State wrestling had a dual match in the Southern Conference last Saturday. They lost the first duel to Campbell 21-17, but made a comeback winning the second duel 28-6 against Gardner-Webb. In the first match, App State started off strong, winning the first 4 matches. Cody Russell is ranked 20th in the Intermat national rankings and started the duel with an 8-3 decision against Zurich Storm, securing a 3-0 lead for the Mountaineers. Jonathan Milner and Will Formato are both ranked in the Intermat top 20 and the Flow Wrestling top 25. Both men picked up victories after Russell contributed to the early lead. Ultimately, Campbell secured the win by winning the next 4 matches, 2 of these involving pins against App State. In the last match, Russell started off with a 25-8 technical fall, giving App State a 5-0 lead. The next 5 matches were all App State victories. The Mountaineers hope to dominate again at their next SoCon dual meet on January 31st at App State. The team takes on Chattanooga at 2 and Presbyterian at 5. You can even enjoy a live stream of the event with a subscription to the streaming service Rothkin. App State men's basketball killed it on the court last Friday and Saturday against Georgia State, moving them to 12-5 overall and 6-2 in the conference. This victory secured their first place position in the East Division. This 12-5 record is the best start to a season the team has seen since 2006. Senior guard Justin Forrest started off the first game strong with 23 points on an 8 of 13 shooting, leading to an 80-71 win. Georgia State out-rebounded the Mountaineers in the first half 19-8, but the Mountaineers came back and won in the second half with 18 rebounds. The second game resulted in a 74-61 win from App State. Forward James Lewis Jr. crushed the court with a career high of 22 points and 14 rebounds. Donovan Gregory, Justin Forrest, and Michael Almanassi also scored in double figures, marking the 3rd game in a row 4 players have done so. App State hopes to continue the winning streak in its next 2-game event against Troy. The first game is on Friday at 7 and the second is Saturday at 5. Both games are available on ESPN. A statement released by the Director of Athletics congratulated student athletes on earning the best cumulative and semester GPA on record last semester. Doug Gillen encouraged student athletes to keep up the good work amidst COVID-19 restrictions. He also encouraged continued support from local sponsors and the community during uncertain financial times. He says, quote, "There are still challenges ahead, but we have the university leadership, dedicated fans, supporters, coaches, staff, and student athletes to rise to the moment and keep climbing. Our vision is to come out of this time positioned for even greater success in the classroom and competitively." End quote. The question on all of our minds is how we are going to be getting tickets for next football season. Our correspondent, Allie Powell, hopefully has the answer for us.
Get excited, Mountaineer fans, because App State Athletics has announced that season ticket holders are now able to secure a spot for a potential in-person football season at Kidd Brewer Stadium. The 2021 schedule for the App State football team looks exciting, with games against East Carolina on September 2nd, Elon on September 18th, and Marshall on September 25th. The games against Georgia Southern, Coastal Carolina, South Alabama, and ULM will be announced as the season approaches. Road game tickets will be available to season ticket holders first for games against Miami, Georgia State, Troy, Arkansas State, and Louisiana. As the enthusiasm builds surrounding the upcoming season, athlete Cameron Peoples recounts his favorite parts of game days before the outbreak of COVID-19.
It just it makes you want to do so much better when you got like all those eyes watching you. And I think with like full capacity it's just so much fun because you got that interaction from the crowd, you got your teammates, you got like everybody's on your side, and it's a very amazing feeling, and definitely was missed in the COVID year.
The renewal process for season tickets and parking passes began on January 19th and will end on April 30th. App State is now using Paciolan as their ticketing platform. Therefore, the renewal action will be through that. Parking assignments begin June 1st and administered based on membership level and rank within that level. As of right now, Kidd Brewer Stadium is expected to operate at full capacity in the fall, so tickets are being sold with that intention. Football player Caleb Spurlin shares some predictions of what fans can expect for the 2021 season.
Well, hopefully we have full capacity in those stands. That'd be nice. I think everybody wants that. So my expectations of full Kid Brewer Stadium with a great App State football team that has been working hard all year.
Ticket prices will be $215 for adults and $180 for current App State faculty and staff, senior citizens, and kids ages 3 to 12. For Yosef Club members, tickets cost $385 for Gold section and $330 for the East VIP section. Football tickets will go on sale to the general public at a later date, so keep a lookout for that announcement for the possibility of cheering on the Mountaineers from inside the Rock. For the Appalachian Weekly News, I'm Allie Powell.
A new shoe shop on King Street is sure to have all the athletes excited. Our correspondent Connor Davidson talked to the young entrepreneur who runs the store.
If you've driven down King Street recently, you may have noticed a new store, Kicks on King, has recently opened, and it's owned by none other than 13-year-old Cooper Green. Meet Cooper Green, the 13-year-old founder and owner of Kicks on King, a brand new store for sneaker lovers where you can buy, sell, and trade shoes. Cooper started this store because of his love for shoes.
The whole idea, I really just have my whole life been into sneakers, and I love them a lot. And my grandpa, he's an App State grad, Tommy Sofield, and he had an open slot for this unit, and I just asked him if I could use it.
That's right. Cooper's grandfather is App State great Tommy Sofield, who made a name for himself as a captain on the Mountaineers football team in the 70s and also as a successful businessman. Cooper now looks to follow in his grandfather's footsteps.
I just wanted to carry on his legacy of what he did at App and around town, his businesses that he owns, and around the country.
The COVID-19 pandemic has been very hard on small businesses, but this did not shy Cooper away. Instead, he is making the most of his opportunities and bringing something to Boone that the town hasn't seen before.
Right now, the shoe market is skyrocketing in prices, value, and especially in Boone, we don't have any sneaker stores or sneaker businesses.
With all of the hard work that went into making the idea of the store a reality, Cooper now has nothing but success on his mind.
It took a lot of effort. We did everything on our own, and really, I just wanted to strive myself for greatness and really just be a young entrepreneur in Boone.
After a soft opening on January 19th and the grand opening set for February 5th, the future is bright for this young entrepreneur. For the Appalachian Weekly News, I'm Connor Davidson.
Award-winning playwright, actress, and professor Anna Davier Smith is credited with creating a new form of theater. Smith's drama Twilight Los Angeles received 2 Tony nominations and made headlines for its unique portrayal of the 1992 Los Angeles riots. Smith interviewed hundreds of people following the acquittal of 4 policemen accused of beating Rodney King. In her One Woman shows, Smith manages to bring to life these people along with their experiences, and the result is truly fascinating. And on February 4th, you'll have the opportunity to watch her in a live event presented by the Schaefer Center.
We're very concerned right now about truth in media, right? And what is the truth? And we debate a lot what is good journalism. And I think that what Anna Davier Smith does and what storytelling does about real people and real events in general is give us a broader sense of what the truth of something is. Because you can report on what happened, but that's only a piece of the truth of the experience of it.
In an article published by The National, Smith said that if she could walk, in her subject's words, she could absorb America. Known for bringing a number of complex identities to life, Smith shines a light on the diversity of perspectives along with a number of controversial issues.
I'm hoping that it changes the way people think about current events. Like, right now, it is super important to be anti-racist. And to do that, you have to understand and be empathetic to what other people are experiencing.
For more information on how to register, make sure to follow the Schaefer Center's Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. For the Appalachian Weekly News, I'm Hadassah Rivera.
After sophomore Chad Doral passed away due to COVID complications in the fall, friends and family wanted to do something to honor his life. Inspired by Doral's dedication to academics, friend of the family, Zach Nichols, helped create the Chad Doral Memorial Scholarship Fund. The scholarships will be based on character as well as teacher recommendation, and will be awarded to 2 high school seniors from Davidson County, Doral's home. The family plans to give out the scholarship for the next 10 years, with the number of years representing Doral's high school basketball jersey number. Chad's mother, Susan Doral, is grateful for the support of the community in getting the scholarship started, saying, "Chad was just so determined. We knew that he was going to graduate. He had his mind set. We just want to be able to help someone achieve something that he wasn't able to do." The public GoFundMe has raised over $8,700 for the scholarship fund so far and continues to accept donations.
That's our report for this week. I'm Jayson James. For all of us at the Appalachian Weekly News, thank you for watching. We will see you next time.